Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Combos and Chill Dirty Talk Session, episode 42.
Damn.
We are on episode 42, which is crazy. And I'm your host, Dirty, and this is my co-host and my wife. She's a Phoenix.
Hi guys. I think it's been a while. I don't know why it feels like a long ass break, even though we just missed one stream.
We missed
Thursday.
one stream last week, and dude, it feels long because
but it was fun because I was watching him jam a little bit, so I was like,
yeah, we got like by the way, my band's music video and single is out, so go to at AKB _ official, check the video out. We would like to know what you guys think about the music. And
these guys decided to request me to draw, which it's like a dream for me. Now my art is immortalized, so thank you so much.
It's all good. But again, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Today's episode 42, we have a very special guest. His name is Junior Abi Saleh. He's a drummer of a band called When the World Burns here in the UAE. And they have a kind of a very interesting concept, as in like when it comes to music writing and shit like this.
Exactly. So like this is a mind that is like worth picking to the point where you can understand why and hows of music and music production and all the the singles.
And they're two brothers, by the way. Him and his brother. The brother plays guitar, and it's like really cool. And he was part of he was an ex-band member of Weeping Willow from Lebanon, and I think he partaked. He played a show with Aramaic, Fadi's band here.
Oh, no way! I love Aramaic, by the way. Their music is very unique.
Yeah, they're very cool
unique. The Oriental blend with the stuff they do, Jesus.
So without any further ado, let's get Junior on the show. Junior, brother, how you doing, man? Welcome to our session. Welcome to Combos and Chill.
Hi, welcome.
Hi guys.
How are you?
How's everything, man? So
good.
So you heard us. We gave a tiny introduction about you. So why you don't go ahead and introduce yourself in your own words?
Yeah, all right. First of all, hi everyone. All right. So my name is Junior. I currently play with the band When the World Burns. I'm the founder, drummer, lyricist, and I also play with Aramaic here in Dubai. Back in the day, I used to be one of the main members of Lebanese death metal band, the Weeping Willow, until it disbanded a couple of years ago. So I can give you more details about that during the show.
Yeah, because we're gonna be talking about how. Because we usually when it comes to musicians, we try to dig into what was that whole major drive behind them when they started, as in when was the first time you ever
that eureka moment, basically.
You said, you know what, I think I'm gonna be a drummer. When was that moment? Basically, exactly. Comes down to that moment.
Yeah, it boils down to that. Yeah.
I gotta become a drummer. How that happened?
It's before that, actually, before the drummer thing, because I'll tell you about the drumming stuff in a while. So, in the 80s, back in the late 80s, my uncle used to have a nightclub. And I used to go with him. I was a kid, like 10 years old, just walk around, look at the the DJ booth, and it was all like stick music. So, and I was like, okay, that's what everyone listens to. And I used to like it. I was like, didn't know anything else. I was 10, and then I look there and I see something, like a CD. It was like an LP it was a CD with. Like a metal lady, like robot metal lady, and the name was Heavy Metal Marathon. And I looked at it. I was like, told my uncle, "What is this?" He's like, "No, leave it. This is, I don't know. I got it by mistake. It's really bad." So I'm like, that should be good. if he said
he got bad. It by mistake.
So I took it with me, and when we went to his house, I played it on the CD player, and it was the first time I listened to an actual distortion. And I was like, what is this? I need more of this. So I did the mixtape, and it had all those cheesy songs, and I took a song out of this like 3-4 minutes because it was kind of a mix. And I went back home. I kept on listening to the tape, and every time I'd get to this part, I'd repeat it and repeat it. I told him I need more of this. He's like, I don't have this. This is garbage.
Oh,
So
man.
I told my mom to drive me to a disc, like a CD show, not a CD show. It was a tape
Oh
CD
yeah,
show.
the tape days, man.
Oh my God.
The tape days. So, and I told the guy, here, listen, I want something like this. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, hard rock? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know what you call it, you know, like, call it whatever you want. Just give me more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy hands me Ride the Lightning.
Oh, Metallica.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
another hair metal band CD. And so I went home, I put it in, and then, yeah, that was it.
So that was
I
that.
never looked back.
So that was that
The
transition
first
bridge.
movement, yeah.
It's like I'm
That
gonna
was
become a
88,
drummer.
89. 88, 89. Then during the war, you know, I'd be like with my Walkman listening to whatever Iron Maiden, let's say there's Die With Your Boots On, like, you know, bombs were falling and all that stuff. And then we went to Cyprus. There I had a lot of exposure because there was a tourist area where you had massive like tapes, like in just big boxes, and so I'd see Alice Cooper, Blue Oyster Cult, all Judas Priest, and I started getting stuff just by the way the picture. I wouldn't know. So sometimes I pick up something that looks good as a picture. I put it as like rap. I'm like, no. So that's how it all started with the music, and it never stopped from there.
Oh.
The drumming is something totally different. I went to my first gig back in Beirut. It was, I think, I can't remember the exact date. It should have been 96 or I think. And there was a Lebanese band called Dogma. There was Haitham Al-Khatib playing with Exceed.
Ooh, that dude,
And
man. Okay.
Yeah, it was the first time I see Haitham. I was still a kid.
Is he that old in the scene?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we were kids. Haitham was like, he was singing, and we were like...
Junior, just hold your thought. The person he's talking about, I know him since 2007 in Dubai only. Apparently, he was like an OG back in Lebanon as well.
Oh, shit.
Dude, the guy is like Pantera and shit like this. Like, you know... He has that falsetto type of vocals. Dude, the guy is legit.
Yeah. He is. So he was singing like Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. He can do that
voice,
screeching thing up. Man, powerful guy.
His voice was spot on.
Yep.
And I was okay, you know, like we're headbanging and stuff. And then another band comes. Okay, fine. Was happy my first gig, and then I saw a band, they were called Dogma. Never heard of them, didn't know anything about them. I was just standing there. It was like all these guys wearing black. Nobody was smiling. So already they have your attention. I was like, okay, I like this. So far, so good. And then they started to play, and their drummer, his name was Carlos Abud, who I became very good friends with. But I looked at what he was doing, and I was like, man, this is incredible. All the other guys were playing, but he was a machine. And back in 1997 or 6, like, I mean, he was like out of this world. I was like, I want to play whatever he's playing. So decided to go buy a drum set. Obviously, in Lebanon, it's very hard, you know, it was very hard either to find stuff or also the means. So I had $150. I didn't have anything else. So, like, okay, I need something. I got something that looked like the drum set. It was a Linko, $150, and it comes with a pedal and 2 cymbals. So you can imagine what it sounds like.
Yeah, but it's enough to get you started, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to, I mean, these days, I just go on YouTube, Drumeo, you know, like all these sites, and you learn. Back in the day, you couldn't learn. Okay, I didn't even know how to put it together.
Exactly,
It was very hard. Like, how do I put it together? This pedal, what does it do? Where do I put it? You know?
Oh my God, I can imagine. Yeah, but and they don't come with manuals either, you know?
Yeah, they don't come with a manual, basically, because you're buying something that you know what the fuck it is.
Exactly,
you know? Like,
so you need to know where what goes.
Yeah.
But it was so bad. So as soon as I got it done, I started playing and the drum started moving forward. And I was like, all right, I think I need something to hold it. And I used to put like chairs or stuff. No, it won't work. Carpet, okay, mom's carpet, you know, like, where's the carpet? You know, like, oh, it's down.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so, man, things like that happen.
This is how I started to play. I mean, to try and play, basically, not play, to try and play. And there's no tutoring. And even to tutor, there was one guy called Walid. He was he's a jazz player. And later on, I took a couple of courses with him. But back in the day, like, okay, he would charge $20 an hour for 40 minutes, which was a lot for somebody who's 17, 16, not working, etc. So I managed to get $40 together and went to him. I was like, and got some CDs. I'm like, I want to play this. And he looked at me, and he's a very good drummer, and he's played with like big guys, and comes this little dude who tells him, I want to play this, and it's all skulls and it's all like things burning. He's like, man, you need to sit down and I've got to teach you paradiddles and rudiments. I'm like, no, I don't have time. Listen to this track, I want to play this track. And then he's like, I don't have time for this. I'm like, I don't have money also. So at the end, I did what he told me to do. Like, I took two sessions with him, and then it was just me on my own, I mean, for the rest.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, that's great. At least, you got yourself into the grind and you pushed for it.
Yeah. And making that foundation like strong with, practicing on his own and, like taking lessons and stuff as well after like that's a huge evolution.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get back to you, Junior. We're going to talk about the whole early stages of you learning and putting this thing together, and after that 2 classes. But I just want to give a shout out to our good friend and our mentor, DJ Zax. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DJ,
for the resubscribing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't want to jump in between Junior's, because he was talking. So DJ, thank you very much. Adel Zouze is in the house. What's up, brother? Thank you very much for joining us. Dominant 69 is in the house.
Thank you. He's saying, yo, my favorite people streaming.
Thank you very much, Dominant.
Thank you.
It's good to see you guys again. And DJ is saying, my favorite too, dude. I freaking love you, man.
This chat is full of love today.
Yeah, man.
I like that. I like that energy.
Exactly. Thank you very much, guys. And thank you very much for our new follower, Ram Leb Metal. Thank you very much for joining our Twitch family abroad.
And welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
I hope you have fun.
And guys, what you guys been up to? Tell us, how was your weekend? And if you have any questions for Junior, please, he's a drummer for 2 bands here in UAE, which called When the World Burns. Is his own project with his brother. He's the drummer, and he plays drums for another good friend of ours, Aramek.
Yeah.
And we just got him on the show so we can talk to him. He's from this region's music, bands and artists, so we always focus and put the spotlight on them. So Junior, back to you, man. So you took 2 classes with this guy, then figured out shit on yourself. And how was that journey going? How everything came along after that 2 sessions?
It was bad because you try to play with I had this, these Sony stereos, which wasn't mine. It was my parents.
Oh, okay.
The stereo that was in the middle of the living room that I managed to take it downstairs to the garage, and then it had 2 speakers, CD and a tape, and I tried to, put the volume high and try to play with it, and I'd be like so frustrated because the volume would be too low compared to when you start hitting the drums.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
So yeah, that was bad until I got into uni, and there was some guy who told me, we need a drummer. We have they had like an alternative band, and they were all much older than me. I'm like, I have a drum set. They looked at me. At the time I had long hair and was wearing all black, wasn't smiling too much. So like, okay, he looks like that. he looks
fits in, yeah.
This whole not smiling is a very major
requirement.
Major requirement for Junior.
In Lebanon it's different because people look at you weird. So you need to tell them to stay away in some way.
Yeah.
So,
tell them to stay away some way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because you're gonna get the questions. Why do you have a big goatee? Why do you have long hair? Why do you all these things?
That's
explaining. Here's the flyer. Why? Here's the answer to all your questions. So
okay, so you were not smiling. You had your blacks on, so.
And he's like, okay, he told the guys like, yeah, I think this guy should do it. And I could barely play at the time, but honestly, they helped me out because they had a gig to play, and I was still new. It was alternative, so it was very straightforward. You can't go wrong with the basic rock beats, and you play a simple fill, and they were teaching me how to count.
Yep.
Like you go ta 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 ta, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 4 you go in. I was like, okay, why do we need to count? Like, why are we counting? So it was that bad. So we managed to play in the same place where I saw the first time I saw Haysam and Dogma, which was in University BUC.
Oh.
So I went, like, from the first time I was looking at Haysam, then I was like, wow, I was so excited because, I was backstage and I saw Haysam, and I'm playing now on the same stage. But he was like the opening. We were like the big opening band, like guest, and we were like just the fillers for the show.
Oh,
okay. It managed to be okay. And after that, once I got a bit of the basics, that's when I started to push myself even more, try to figure out how things would work. And you hear stuff here, stuff there, you get a book. I got like the lightning book and tried to figure out what each note means. And then the band actually broke up. It was just a uni band, just for fun.
Okay.
And then I moved forward to something else. In parallel, my brother was learning the guitar, so at this age.
So you and your brother became metalheads together, or like it was something that your elder brother was into it and then you wait, by the way, your brother is elder than you, or you're elder than your brother?
No, he's younger. He's 6 years younger.
Oh, so basically he followed your path.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
basically that was it. Here you go, listen.
He's like, just plant the seed, just listen to this. Like in his brain, it's like, that I need a guitar player. You need to be my test subject.
He actually decided to play guitar because he saw once a guy called Philippe. He lives also in Dubai, but he's not anymore into this type of music. And we used to jam like just on stuff like Jimi Hendrix and a bit of Metallica and stuff like. Random stuff, and he saw him and he's like, I want to learn guitar. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So he started learning, but his evolution was much, much, much faster because I was the guy who wanted to go headbang and get drunk, and he was the guy who wanted to stay in his room and play guitar for 6-7 hours. And man, you need to eat. Oh yeah, I need to eat. He goes down back to his room. I wasn't that guy at all.
Yeah, man.
So for me, it was the metal. Again, so when I said that there's a thing with the drumming, I'm not a drummer because I love drums more than anything else. No, I love drums because I love metal. If there's no metal, I throw my drums away.
Okay.
So if one day there's no more distortion in this world, it decides to disappear, I don't need my drums anymore, honestly. I need metal to play. If there's no metal, I wouldn't play it.
Is that your artistic side, or it's just like something personal that you have this connection with this music that other than this you will not do anything?
Other than metal, I would not do anything. It's been with me since the war days, since the childhood, and growing up in Lebanon isn't easy, as much as anyone would say. Growing up with war and bombs and everything is not easy. So this was like a kind of a nice, if you want escape, it was like a kind of like a shield that shielded you from a lot of things.
Yep.
So I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, So when I say, listen to this fusion, listen to this, okay, they're really good, but I'm not for me at all.
I understand.
So,
but I mean, we're gonna dive into your personal favorites later on during the show. But let's kick it. Let's fast track it to. Actually, tell us the bands that you played with in Lebanon, because
exactly.
We would like to know a couple of them, and hear
because there was a foundation there,
if we can hear like a brief journey and how was the whole thing with these bands in Lebanon.
So I met a guy called Cyril Lajar in a mosh pit, actually, in the BUC mosh pit. So it was a big guy. We used to bump into each other. So we started talking, and we decided to form a band a couple of years later after we became friends. And we formed a band called Arcane. Arcane was a known band in Lebanon. They were it was gothic, symphonic, and they released 2 albums. I didn't play with them for any of the 2 albums. I just founded the band, stayed with them, played 1 or 2 gigs with them, and then I just didn't get along with the style and the lyrics and everything. I wanted something heavier. They wanted something more mainstream. So that's when I exited. My brother stayed with them. So my brother stayed with Arcane till the end of their days. So I moved then, and I met awesome guys from Weeping Willow. So in a coffee shop, I saw 5 guys wearing all black, completely smashed, having fun, talking about, Samael, Pantera, Slayer, blah. And I was like, oh man, I want to be there. What am I doing here? So I met those guys, saw them twice live, and then they needed a drummer, and I said, I play drums, and that's how we started. And we took it. That was very serious work. I mean, we worked pretty hard back in the day. This was 1999 or 2000 actually. This was the year 2000.
Oh, nice. The year that I get to know about metal.
2000. So 2000, we started. We played the first gig in a place called Crapaway. Our vocalist got hit by a rock on the back of his head. Yeah, while singing.
Wow.
There was a construction site above, and there were workers, and I think they didn't like all this growling, so they threw a stone, and it hit Gino's head, and he started bleeding. Now, he didn't stop, and he kept on growling, and blood was coming down his face, and people went mad, even madder, and then, people thought it was part of the show, and I'm like, oh, is he gonna die?
Wow. That's the most metal thing I've ever heard.
That was awesome.
So metal.
Holy shit.
I think that was really awesome. Then you had the Red Cross came up and decided to put the bandage, and he was still singing while they were putting the bandage. Then we had no money to take him to the hospital, and people just jumped in and gave us donations. We took him there got him stitched up. I think he got 5 or 6 stitches. So this was it. Then we decided to enter the studio to record our first demo. But it was an amazing experience, but it was also the funniest experience because we had no clue how to record at the time. So we entered the studio, and the guy started growling. His name was Ralph. As soon as he started growling, he's like, what is this? The guy who was recording is like, what is this? This is how he's gonna sing.
Wow.
He's like, this is how he sings? Yeah, he's like, okay. And then when Garo started, playing on the guitar, going, he's like, there's something wrong with your guitar. There's a lot of noise. And we looked, we're like, oh, that's gonna end what? So, yeah. So we stood there, and he's like, guys, you play the set live. I'm like, okay, where do I put my drum set? He's like, in the other room next door. I'm like, and how do I see them? He's like, okay. So on my left, there was a small window. I would look at them like this. And back in the day, it wasn't like you had metronomes or you knew all these songs by heart, part by part. So I would look what they would do. You'd look at the guitarist, look at his hands to see what part was on. You're playing live.
Okay.
Wow.
So we played it one take. There's loads of mistakes in it, but for me it's an awesome demo. Even the drum pedal, the drum microphone on the front. So when I place it would move. So it started moving, going like this.
Wow.
And halfway through the album, there's no more drum pedal. So,
oh God.
So it was, but I mean, we needed to hear what we played, and some of our friends also needed the same. They wanted to hear what we played, and it was awesome because then we got people requesting songs, sing-alongs, etc. It was awesome. That was the first. That was 2001. Then 2004 we recorded the second album.
Nice.
It was better. We had we knew a bit what we were doing, much more than the first time. We had no clue. Then in 2006 we recorded the third album, which was the third Portal. This was after the Lebanese war.
Oh. Okay.
In 2006 we recorded this album, and after that I left Lebanon and came to Dubai in November 2007. So in a way I left the band, but I did play with them a couple of gigs later on. Like if you think about Weeping Willow, like there was opening of Theater of Tragedy 2002, opening of Apocalyptica, Anathema, Moonspell, Catatonia, I'm sure I forgot some Grave. So there were a lot of nice concerts, and I mean for the country it wasn't like Dubai.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
It's totally different. Dubai is a different world, so much more advanced in the music scene compared to Lebanon, especially back in the day. So I came, and after I played with them a couple of gigs, they continued. They had another drummer, a good friend of mine, Bashir Ramadan from Perversion. So he moved back to Lebanon at the time. Top man. He played with them also. So in between, sometimes he couldn't play, I'd play some. So for whatever reason, and they recorded a fourth album. I just contributed with lyrics and was just helping them out with a couple of things, nothing major. And then the band ended in 2018. Now, in the meantime, when I came to Dubai, Fadi was like, come play with Aramaic. I was like, no, man, I'm here for 2 years. I'm going back to Lebanon. Then he'd come back, come play with us. No, 2 years, I'm back to Lebanon. So I didn't want to play with any metal band unless it was Weeping Willow. Until when it disbanded in 2018, that's when I said, you know what, there's no more strings attached. Like some of the guys did something else. And I was like, okay, so I might as well just continue. So I called Fadi. I was like, man, you remember you wanted a drummer. He's like, this time you record and you send to me and I will think about it. I was like, fair enough, I deserve it, to be honest.
Oh my God.
And I sent him one song. He's like, I need another one. I was like, okay. So then another one and another one and another one. I was like, yeah, man, okay. So that's what I played with. I played with them, rehearsed, and we played the opening of Hypocrisy, which was in 2019.
When Hypocrisy came down, which was one of the gigs that I missed, and I think Jobber was organizing it.
Thanks to Jobber, by the way, for this. So big thanks to Nahla and to Jabber for this, because they pulled off one of the nicest gigs ever in Dubai.
So I mean that's great. I just want to point out that most of the musicians he's talking about is like, again, it's within this whole circle, so everyone knows each other. And kudos to Jobber and Motassim from Metal East Records and these two guys. They actually, they're doing a lot for the scene and they help out and everything.
And many bands wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to even be recognized even in the Middle East, let alone internationally, if they wouldn't have given a chance, and also bringing international bands here and giving the local place like a little bit of exposure and attention, basically. Like, who would have thought,
So I just want to give a quick shout out to Bullet is in the house. Bullet, man, we missed you. It's been a while. And Ram Lem. Wow, sorry to butcher your name. Ram Leb Metal is in the house.
It's just Sunday, so
This is Rami. This is Rami from Leb Metal. So this is Yeah, he's an awesome dude.
Hi.
Very old in the scene also.
Thank you very much for joining us,
I know.
Ram.
Thank you for dropping by.
Rami, thank you very much for dropping by and for the follow. Thank you very much for joining our small Twitch family abroad. And again, thank you very much for everything. And DJ Zax is saying, is there any videos of you drumming that we can watch on the stream?
Do
you have it uploaded?
Oh, you have to go to my Instagram. Basically, I upload every now and then stuff on my Instagram.
But wait, we have another person called Will Ward 62. Wave.
Hi. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you very much for joining us, Will Ward. Thank you very much.
I know. Thank you for all the guys in the chat that are making time for the stream. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. And I mean, before moving ahead, this is our good friend and our guest, the Junior Abi Saleh. He's a drummer for When the World Burns, and he was an ex-band member of Weeping Willows and a couple of more bands, and he played a couple of shows with Aramec. These are the bands in Dubai. And we got him on the show because their music, which we're going to be listening to. There's no drum videos. Let's listen to a track.
That's what I was about to tell you. Like, we can listen to When the World Burns.
Yeah, we can listen to one of their tracks. And Junior, we're gonna go ahead and listen to both of is it both of Sharon or Charon? How you say it?
Both of Sharon.
Both of Sharon. Okay, so we'll do one thing.
If you want to start something with a video us playing, then play Paralysis.
Sure.
Because then you can see us drumming, guitaring, and all this.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So we're gonna be listening to the track, and we're gonna get back to you guys. So I mean, we're gonna get back to Junior, so you can explain to us what was the concept and what was the journey behind it, and like a brief explanation. So guys, this one is from the band When the World Burns, which is his project and his brother, and the song called Paralysis featuring Mara Lysenko. Mara Lysenko. Okay, so we're gonna give it a listen, and we'll see you guys shortly.
It's happening again! Memorial slithering, say I'm back menacing. Ungodly paralysis, domination, neck-breaking sounds, closing in. Severing when you're asleep. Filled in darkness, beating on your fear. Justice with me is so real. I know when breaking stage.
Junior, very interesting, what you call it, music, because I was hearing Lamb of God, some type of...
the blast beats,
yeah,
though.
the blast beats
Jesus.
section.
Yeah.
And the clean. The
Yeah.
clean was out of the blue. I didn't think it would go clean.
Yeah, that's it.
It takes you by surprise, but it has its own flavor, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
But dude, tell us, first of all, give an explanation about When the World Burns. So you guys don't have a vocalist. Yes,
No.
if I'm correct. So, correct me if I'm wrong. The whole concept behind it is that you guys get guest vocals and guest vocal appearances on every song, or how was it?
Okay, so the way it started after, when me and my brother decided to form a band, and we were talking, and we were like, man, what type of band would we do? We listen to so much metal. What do we do? Thrash, black, death. I mean, we like all of these. Do we do a doom metal band? We also like doom. Do we play prog, like heavy prog metal, fast paced? What do we do? So we're like, you know what? Let's not give it a style. Let's do whatever we want to do. No rules. Whatever comes up, let's just play it, and let's not get a vocalist. Let's try something which is getting into one band. Like I had kind of this thing where I wanted to get into one album, like guys from the local scene in Lebanon that were friends and that I really liked, and also international artists. But I didn't know if any of these would work. So this was like, and he's like, okay, my brother was like, let's try it. Either works or doesn't work. And Rani, who was the bassist of Black Hymn, also is with us. So it's me, Rani, and Karim. And we decided, let's just approach, depending on what song we make, we'll approach a vocalist and see if it works or not. So the first guy was like, okay, let me try with Walid from Chaotion. So I sent him a message, and I was like, okay, if he says no, then I think I've got to change strategies. If he says no, then it's not going to work. And he was all in for it. And I was like, okay. I approached Gino for ex-Sweeping Willow vocalist, and he's like, yeah, I'm in. I was like, okay, I've already got two. This is good for your motivation in a way.
Exactly, yes.
For your confidence, levels of confidence. Here, you're like, okay, because you're trying something really, really new. So third, I was like, let me approach some people that I listened to back in the past, some of my idols in a way. So I'm a big fan of a band called Agatho Damien, which is a German gothic black metal band that I used to listen to a lot, especially in my university days. So I have the guitarist on Facebook. I dropped him a random message saying, hey, Martin, how are you? And I'm doing this project band, and do you know anyone who would sing on this? Like, I didn't want to say, his vocalist. I just, hinted, like, do you know anyone? He's like, why don't you try Ash? So this is where I was like, okay, awesome. And I'm like, can you ask him? He's like, okay, I'll ask him. And you also send him a message. I approached Ash, and man, he was awesome. Awesome. I didn't expect that at all. He was like, let me listen to it first. If I like it, then sure. Send it to him. He's like, man, I totally in. He did the first track, and he's like, if there's another one, I sent him another one. He's like, this is too death metal, not my style. You see the difference in styles here. So I sent him both of Sharon. He's like, done, I'll do it too. So he recorded also both of Sharon. And that's where I was, okay, so I've got Gino, Weeping Willow, Chaotion, and I've got Agatho Damien. I approached also Jason Netherton from Misery Index.
Oh,
and
nice.
This is also a massive, like, I'm a massive fan of Misery Index. So I approached Jason, he said yes, and I was like, okay, we're really happy by then. He listened to the song, and he's like, I'll record it. And this is how we started. Mara, I was streaming on YouTube, like, videos, and by mistake, I fell on her band. And I was like, man, she's awesome. So sent her a message. She said yes too. So by this time I had a good, if you want, arsenal.
Exactly.
I also have now JM from Svengali Damage Right, who's gonna sing on one of the tracks, and Stefano Fiori from Grave Worms. It's the Italian black metal band. Also was like beyond awesome. Also, like so far, all the guys I've approached were really, they were really cool, really responsive. And you know, there is this way, I'm not gonna lie, to approach somebody that you really like and admire, and then, you know, if let's say says, you know what, if he doesn't answer, says, you know, like get out of here or something, you'd be like a bit shocked, you know, or how is it gonna affect the way you listen to the band, etc. But so far, man, it's been awesome, and they've been really like positive. A lot of them gave the extra mile. So I would do the vocal lines for them, and they would like, okay, do you want me to change something here? What do you think about that? So it wasn't just, okay, what do you want me to do? They were really working with us, which I really liked too. So and adding to this, I'd like to add that in a way, the video that we just saw, now these are all the music of When the World Burns is mixed and mastered by JM. And all the videos are done by him, not the lyric videos, but as in the actual videos, like Endless Silence and Paralysis and A Play Called Man. So he shot the videos, he put them together, and so he's in a way very much involved with When the World Burns. He's like kind of a member, but not a musically playing member. You know, we ask him a lot, like we take a lot of his opinions. We have a group together, and he's my neighbor actually, so we're very much in contact. So he's helped us a lot also.
So when
that was
yeah, carry on. Sorry, carry on. I thought you were finished.
No, so that was the main concept of When the World Burns, which is to get into one album many vocalists that we like. And so in maybe 10, 15, 20 years, when I'm like getting old, or like my daughter grows up and she can listen to it and she can see what I've done, and I can also look back and say, I mean, man, I've done a song with the guy from Misery Index. I've done a song with the guy from Megathedania. I'd never imagined this would ever happen, or Grave Worms, in my life.
Yeah,
obviously.
I'd be listening in my room when I was a kid. If somebody told me, yeah, you know, like 20 years later, you'll do a song with this guy, I'd be laughing, like, no way, man. So,
things happen, and I mean, that's good that you guys came this far, and as you said, you know, the bands got back to you in a, you know, like, you know how to say it, like the reply was very, you know, a good vibe, and things worked out for you, and hopefully from now onwards as well is going to stay the same, and you can find out the new vocalist and the, you know the those icons that you all the time wanted to, you know, collaborate with, to collaborate with,
music,
just to make to make it happen. And we have cool gamer here. It's like JoJo freestyle rap.
I was so confused when I read the comment. I was like, what is he trying to say?
What's up, gangster? Thank you very much, cool gamer.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you, man? How's things? So Junior, okay, that line threw me off.
Yeah, because dude, I was so, it took me so long to first of all read and decipher what he meant, and then you know, I'm already functioning on 2 brain cells, so
it's all good. It's all good. So Junior, what was the origin behind the brand, the name of When the World Burns?
You know, I've always been a massive fan of everything this apocalyptic, like destruction of the world. I always thought that, like, you know, you need to erase and rebuild. And there's a big also influence from where I come from. So from the childhood, being born in Beirut, bombs, wars, conflicts, and all of that.
True.
So in a way, it'll all be okay when the world burns. That's it. So that's the idea behind it. Not to sound too negative, but, you know, I'm kind of very realistic kind of guy, and if you see at the logo, there's like the world, and it's half of it is normal. It's like the map of the world, and the other half is a
like a fireball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, I've always thought like it'll either go either way. It's either the skull that'll take over and we're gone, or it'll be the other way around. But it looks like the skull's gonna take over.
Well, I actually wanted to ask you because I love the song called A Plague Called Man. So, like, considering, like, even before the stream started, you were saying that, you know, as a lyricist, you put in a lot of effort and there's a lot of thinking process, and each and every song of yours has a meaning, has a lot of depth behind it. So, when you sit to write, do you have a process like, okay, this is my way? Do you, like, for example, some artists would meditate or something, or do you just go to the, you know, drawing board and you just like start creating all these or conjuring all these songs?
It starts. There's two ways it starts. So the way we compose, although I'm here in Dubai and my brother's in Beirut, so we only compose when we are together. We never send stuff across. It has to be in this jamming room. So we sit in this jamming room and we play, and then we make songs and we discuss. Okay, so let's do a song about, let's say, man being a plague. I imagine it death metal, I imagine it this way, the song will talk about this and that, and that's how we start now. The lyrics, some of them would be pre-made, some of like pre-made as in I'd have like ideas, and then I would, if you want, like finalize them once the song is done, the structure is done. Now, the way I write is just, I usually just sit and have my headphones on, and I will have usually black metal playing in the background, because I don't want to, and it would be for a band that I do not know, because I don't know, I don't want to be listening to words or to tunes that I know, and then, you know, you'd be like distracted or trying to sing with it. So it'll be usually things that are very long. There's a lot of atmospheric stuff, so that your imagination could really drift. Because if I'm listening to Slayer and I want to write, it's impossible for me. It has to be something that is long, like say Burzum. I can put Dodi Bubblers. I can put Burzum, Dodi Bubblers. Just put play and just listen to it and write. Not I like whatever he's done, but as a person, but as musically. Or you have Chaos Star, for example, it's a Septic Flesh side project. So all these weird atmospheric stuff, I like to put them whenever I'm writing.
So I mean, because we usually ask this question.
See, this is unique.
Yeah, this
because
is very
many
unique,
people say that they write the music and then the song is created and stuff, and like most of them don't have a process that they will listen to something while writing.
I mean,
this
usually,
is the first time
usually as far as I know, like my musician circle, we don't how to say it, we usually have our own guilty pleasures, but when we come back to the thing that we want to do, it's a different ball game. So we just put all of our thoughts and whatever, you know, ideas we came up with during listening to this other stuff, we put it in one pot and we see if we can work it out. But listening to, you know, your favorite type of music
while writing,
I don't think
that's
I would
a higher
be,
level of multitasking.
I won't be able to do it. But I mean, kudos to you that you can, you know, your mindset is in that way that you can manage to do this. But again, we usually ask we ask our artists on the show that, do you have any like meditation type of thing that you do before writing or like before getting behind the drum set? Oh wow,
I'm
straight
angry.
up no.
That's it. I just need to be angry. As long as I'm angry, I can keep on writing.
Why are you so
what
angry,
a fuel.
man? Why? What's this? I mean, if
I'm
you don't
born
mind.
in Beirut. I need to be angry, man. I can't. If I was born in Luxembourg, then
Is that the curse of like this
world's
region's
fine, maybe.
people?
I mean, dude, if I completely relate to him because, as you know, like you've seen me drive and you say I drive like a truck driver when I'm processing emotions, and when I'm angry, I don't say anything. I just blast metal. That's how I process shit in life, you know. So I can completely relate to what he's saying.
I mean, for me, music is like, you know, just something that you get back to it and makes you relax and you I mean the usual stuff. You get your mind off it and everything. Man. I'm not becoming an old man.
Yeah.
I'm
you're
just
mellowing down a bit.
I'm listening to dude. Believe me, I started to listen to everything since, to be honest to you, 2010. I was a hardcore metalhead. Okay, before 2010.
Yeah, you had your phase.
Yeah, because I joined a band called Nicotine, and they were very like super duper Guns N' Roses wannabes. So I had my fair share of this fight. So I know what anger he's talking about.
Yeah, that's why even I can relate, because
so that's why I made my own project. I put all of my energy in that, and that's it. Fuck off and do something that you like. It's easy as this. And Cool Gamer is saying, friends, check out the song "Follow the Sun."
Is it what band though?
What band is it? And if you have the link, I mean, it should work. Just drop the link in the comment section. Let's hear it all together. And Junior, what other hobbies do you have aside of drums? Like, what do you do when you have free time? Because you told us you're into animation and you do all this stuff. So let's talk about the whole that side of you, aside of
the
being,
anime side.
Let's get away from your angry side and let's go to the creative side.
Look, I'm 42. I'm less angry than I was back in the day, but it's still there, man. It's still there.
Things happen, man.
It'll never go away.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically, other than I listen to a lot of music, so. This is a thing that is in my daily life. Like, even while working, although I'm in the financial industry, I do listen to music the whole time. So I get my 3-4 hours of music every day. So without fail. Other than that, I'm a big anime fan. So I'm an amateur. I draw stuff like cartoons just for my daughter. Teach her how to draw like Tom and Jerry's and Donald Duck.
That is stuff. So cute. Aww.
So that's but very amateur. And other than that, I love like anime. So I watch all the Naruto's, Death Notes, the Rise of the North Star, and like that type. Captain Harlock. I have a tattoo on my foot, Captain Harlock. This is a 1978 anime. Other than that, I got into a group of guys. There was a vocalist of The Negative, which was a Lebanese band, and some other guys. And we started building Gundams, which is the Japanese Transformers. So they have a very nice shop here in Dubai called Otaku ME. So all these robots that you can see, I think behind me, above the bat, and there's loads of them on the other side. I think it's over there also, above, next to the scarves.
So this was like so sorry to cut you off. This was like a hobby that you got into, or like it was something that you were passionate about?
No, it was just by mistake. Some guy knew that I'm a big fan of Grandizer. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So some guy sent it to me. I was like, look what I built. I was like, where did you get this from? He's like, here in Dubai. I'm like, no way. Like, these things exist? He's like, yeah. So I got one. And while I was there, the guy told me, like, why don't you try other stuff? So I called the guy. He's like, let's form a group and start building. So we started building these robots, and especially during COVID, there was so much time. Like every day, I'd build one. Like I'd have like deliveries after deliveries after deliveries come through the door. Apart from that, I read a lot, but I don't read the same. It's not what I used to read back in the day. So back in the day, there was more thoughtful books, or like things a bit philosophical. Now it's more about history or comics, bande dessinée, French comics, basically. That's it.
Well, I mean, like
I used to be a gamer, but I don't have the time anymore.
Oh, what games you used to play, man?
a big fan of everything that's RPG.
Oh, okay.
So Skyrim, Elder Scroll. I've clocked over 80 hours of Skyrim.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard stories about Skyrim, so I'm not
it's
shocked.
crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. You have also, I can't remember, the Old Soul or something. So and of course Call of Duty when it came to like
there's what's it called? There's Diablo.
Diablo, that's old. I used to play this on the PC back in the day. But that all comes from the RPG. We used to have a group back in Beirut and play like the real RPG, Dungeon Master, with all the dice and the maps and everything.
Whoa. Zach is in the house. He's a huge D&D fan, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had my character and everything, and we used to play a lot of this. Like, it was awesome.
Well, I mean, board games is another cool thing. I really enjoy sometimes playing it. But as an Arab kid, we usually got to learn how to play the card games like Uno and these things. So never had the privilege to learn a board game. Other than this, the early, when you're like a child, they give you those early learning thingies, like puzzles and shit. Other than that, like Jenga, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I never knew I'm good at Jenga,
Why don't we get one for the house?
But Jenga needs to be, like, played with at least 4 people because it's fucking weird, man.
Jenga, you need to be drunk to play Jenga.
That's my God. That's another level.
We played it in, I think, August. We were, like, totally smashed. Me, my brother, and my wife, his wife.
Oh God.
And we could barely see in front of us. The kids were sleeping and we were playing Jenga, and it was like hilarious. But if you're like totally sober, I don't see the fun of it. You're like, it becomes too competitive, too serious.
That's what we want.
I've seen what you've done. Take your hand off and blah blah. No.
Oh.
Man, there's sometimes they keep on removing from the bottom. Like, it makes every move critical from the top.
Exactly. You need to like move it centimeter by centimeter, and that's where the fun begins.
Yeah, and Cool Gamer is asking, do you play Back for Blood or Battlefield 2042 beta?
No. The thing is that I wanted to get more into when I was into gaming. Unfortunately, I gave it so much time that I didn't focus on my drumming. So came a couple of years where there was a lot of gaming and not a lot of drumming. So that's when I was like, you know what? I don't even have a PS5. Although I'm always itching for one, but every time I look at it, I'm like, if I get a PS5, instead of, because I now practice like at least 4 or 5 times a week. For 2-3 hours, so
that's amazing, man.
It's all gonna go on my PS5, so no, I'm trying to resist the urge.
Yeah,
although when I go to my friends or cousins' house, I'm always like, okay, let's play PS5. That's
Oh man, it's all good. But I just want to make a shout out that we have a merch store, so I will put the link down there. So I just wanted to get, because I usually forget to talk about this because I'm not used to it. So we have a couple of merch ideas here, so you guys go ahead and check it out. If you guys like anything, just let us know what is your feedback about it. It's not necessary you buy anything. It's just we like to get the the whole feedback from our viewers, what they think.
Recently we got our mugs, and there is my art on one of them, and one has the Dirty Talks logo. The printing is bomb, and the detailing is actually there, because dude, my piece, it's so intricate, and it came all the whole page, the whole drawing came onto the mug, and I was so happy. The results are so good.
You guys can see her proper art on her page at She's a Phoenix. Give her a follow on IG at She's a Phoenix. And
if you ever wanna get a tattoo designed or any artwork for the house, or as a gift item or something, anything
like black ink and stuff like this, tribal, Maori.
I just did artwork for their latest single for AKB as well, which is the meanest thing I've ever drawn in my life. Literally decapitation.
Which I'll try to showcase on Thursday's session, Absolute Shenanigans. So we're gonna be showing the video and everything, and we're gonna be listening to a track. It's our new single called Bitch Tears.
Oh my God!
So,
it is such a in the face song.
I mean, I think I gotta show Junior at the end of the show.
Oh God!
If you're up for it, if
yeah, definitely.
But you know what? That's a good segue, Junior. Why we don't go and watch both of Sharon? What you think? Is it good?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually one of your newest singles, yeah?
That's our latest one.
Yeah, this is the latest.
Yeah.
And okay, so people, we're gonna give it a listen. It's another track from When the World Burns.
This one I haven't heard yet, so this is gonna be.
This is the cinematic one I'm talking about.
This is the one that I haven't heard, so now this is new for me now.
So this is the one that he mentioned that he got in touch with one of his favorite band, the black metal band. I got to Damien, and the vocalists agreed to join in. So let's give it a listen, and we're gonna come back to you guys shortly.
Deep waters, shallow and old, secrets floating on misery and woe, cracks drowning in an endless mist, countless sins witnessed by time.
Junior.
Yeah.
I love the ending bit. I love that guitar acoustic, man. It's just so soothing. It's so, like, you know, after that whole cinematic, which we're gonna be talking about, like, you know, what's the concept and how was the journey. As you said, you contacted the guy and he was on board for it. But man,
dude, for me, I love how it goes from fast to mellow to fast to like it keeps you up at exactly. And do that one riff in the middle. I was like,
that one, like so Cannibal Corpse.
You can't not headbang. You know, like it's one of those riffs. Like you can't resist it. You know, and dude, like I want like a separate part of the song, just like that acoustic bit. I want a whole song out of that. Like it's so pleasant to hear and.
Very, very
the combination of both, the balance is so good.
So Junior, tell us about this song and how was like the writing process of this whole thing.
Okay, now on this song, basically, I'm always amazed by mythology. So be it Nordic mythology, Greek mythology. So in this case, there's the boatman Charon, who's the son of Nyx, goddess of night, and then you have Erebus, who's the mythology says is the first god of the underworld. So I was always amazed by the story of the boatman, where you know you give him a coin and then he takes you from one end and then takes you into Hades. And if you see the cover represents it very much, which is the picture I have behind me. So this also on our website you can see like the full picture of the boatman. So I contacted Per Olofsson. So Per Olofsson does the covers for Immolation, Exodus, these types of bands, and I wanted him to do this piece of art. So I told him, these are the songs, which ones do you think you want to do? He's like, I want to do this one, the Boat of Sharon. So I was like, okay, awesome. And man, he's done an awesome job on it. Now,
indeed,
the writing of this, I always try to put myself in either in the situation, in both situations, either in his situation, which is the boatman, or in the situation of the guy who's going from one side to the other side, who's going to Hades, basically. And this applies to a lot of the songwriting, or whenever I write, it's always trying to put yourself in these shoes and in his place or in his position. There's so much evil in this world, and there's so, like, they gotta stand in line, that he, like, it's like kind of tiring, and it's kind of like even depressing for him. I'd imagine how this whole mental state would be, although it is mythology, but I always like to experiment with the thought that if it wasn't, or if it was a real character, you know, how he would think, you know, everything that's going on in this world, and everything keeps on, and then it's all gonna go through him. For all these souls are just drained to the other side. It's also the same thing with Blood Owl. So Blood Owl is another, it was the first single we made, which was about the Ściga, which is a Polish myth about when somebody's born with two hearts, they throw them into a well, and then if they survive, they turn out to be like female who turns into an owl, and also is kind of a vampire and wants to take revenge on whoever has hurt them.
Wow.
And this is where I see a bit the metalheads in a way always being the chicas, or like they're always like not part of like society, frowned upon, etc. Now, not here, not in Dubai. I've never felt this, to be honest. But back in, again, we go back to the roots. Lebanon, when you used to be, you had the police prosecuted, devil's music, and all that crap. So I always try to find something personal that has happened and try to attach it to a character, or try to see that I would understand this character. Okay, he's been like, this character's been neglected and is acting on revenge for a reason, and and a lot of like metalheads, you'd see like stuff that's happened to Weeping Willow, Coyote, on Black Human, all these guys. So it's endless stories. I mean, in our childhood, back in Beirut.
Yeah.
So so that's the story behind it, basically.
I mean, that is such a unique way of portraying either memories or emotions. Like, that is so unique that you connect it to a mythical being to get the message across of what you want to say. And again, all forms of art, it can be interpreted by, like, the perception can be different per listener, you know? Like, you can connect to some kind of pain of your own or your memory of your own.
Plus,
you know?
Trying to capture the persona of that character that he's trying to portraying. And, you know, as you said,
and
I mean,
tell
it's a very...
whole story through it.
It's a very interesting concept to write on, because like for a lot of musicians is much more like, you know, like the emotional factor behind it.
Yes,
you know?
And the personal, for example, trauma or something you've been through.
Personal thing, it's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
And like even in your art, there is that personal thing. So I don't think.
I love how one time his sister just told me there is so much darkness in your art. I was like, yes, that's exactly what it is.
And I just want to read a couple of the comments of Cool Gamer. I think he or she's saying, "I'm scared. Is this a vampire song?" And
it's very
Instagram is saying,
hardcore,
"No, it's metal music." And then Cool Gamer is saying, "That's not heavy metal. That's extreme heavy superpower nuclear metal."
Yeah, it has that facet, exactly.
Yeah, and
it's
then
very upbeat.
And then Cool Gamer is saying that song is like 5,000 energy drinks in 4 hours.
Wow, so we have a fan here in the chat. Yeah,
and Cool Gamer is saying, Junior, I think metal fans will love this song. Exactly, the song has it has that, how to say, that charisma about it. It's not just like
coupled with the lyrics that make you like think,
like, after this, like these type of like, you know, these type of sounds, I would love to like watch a, how to say it, like a Viking fight. You know, like some sort of historical thing, as in, like, you know, Gladiator, or like, you know,
like it would be a good soundtrack for like a score for
that's what I'm telling you.
Movies,
Their
right?
music, although is like, you know, they brought metal and they incorporated like black, death, whatever.
Exactly.
Regardless of the genre, it has that cinematic thing into it.
But then the
like,
end result is like it leaves you confused. That again, as I told you, you can't put this song in any genre.
Well, that's the thing. It comes all down to metal. I mean, I'm sure Junior agrees with that. It all comes down to the filter of metal, which whatever.
But like as an elitist, if you try to listen and try to actually focus on it, like I
have one word for the elitist. You guys need a better job. Please find a new hobby. Try new things in your life. And stop bothering about who is this and who. It's like, you know what? Okay, so what if the band sounds like this? Dude, even the biggest musicians, they said so far that there's nothing more genuine.
Actually, to be honest, if, for example, I love Lamb of God. So if any band sounds like Lamb of God, I would immediately go and listen.
Exactly.
That's a bigger motivator for me.
Take it this way. Okay, you know what? I will ask you this question, Junior. By the way, whatever I'm going to explain to you, it happened between me and a friend of mine, which I don't want to, name drop. He was so pissed off when they were comparing his band to a very well-known band, like a very well-known new age American metal band. If, for example, I tell you, Junior, your music reminds me of, for example, Amon Amarth, how your feedback would be? Sorry, how your comeback would be?
I'll go back to the first statement I said, like, at the beginning, I'm a fan. I am a fan. It's not like because now you play in a band, you're like, oh, I'm not a fan anymore. No, I am the fan. You know, I love Paradise Lost. You just said Amon Amarth. Got a Thor's hammer here with a crow, with a dead tree, with the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So I am a fan. I'm always, in a way, I would feel really happy. It sounds like this. It sounds like bands that I like. Mm-hmm. Because again, when you say Amon Amarth, we try to put there is epicness a bit when it starts. So the epic guitar riff, then you mellow it down. It sounds maybe like Catatonia.
Exactly.
Then the vocals, like Cathodamian. Then you go towards the end. You have the acoustic, which is very much like Tiamat. which my brother is a big fan of Time at the old Time at like Wild Honey was the name of the album. So on the contrary, because we are doing something like, again, it's metal music, and it comes out of bands that we like. Mm-hmm. And there's no shame in that at all.
At the end there will be that flair.
Just imagine, like, you've spent your whole life listening to this kind of music, and most of these artists get influenced by the idols that they have. Mm-hmm. So it will portray some of the other factors into the creation process of your own,
if that's the case,
why would it be called an inspiration?
No, fuck that. Not even Junior, not even me, not even you are even allowed to touch anything regarding art because one guy made it.
Exactly. And you can't replicate it.
You can't. I mean, that's the thing. Those elitists, they'll be like, oh, you guys are like this. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man.
No, I mean, as an artist, if you get told that you sound like, or you create music like someone, it's...
How many times I heard
amazing.
That, okay, you know what? Everyone knows me. I'm, okay, Junior, you're I know
what he's about to say, and I'm ready for it.
You know me for a couple of days, but they call me a fucking Fred Durst wannabe.
No, a Persian Fred Durst, yeah. Not a wannabe, you are one.
Do you know Fred Durst? Do you know who's Fred Durst?
Fred Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, they tell me I am a wannabe, I'm a Limp Bizkit wannabe. You know what? Any type of feedback is good.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, someone tells me, as you said, when I told you, okay, for example, your band sounds like a Monomart, it's actually a compliment when they actually comparing you to an artist that is well known.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's good to know that you're at least on the right path. At least you're doing something good.
I mean, see, that's what I'm saying, that if something moves you and it becomes an inspiration, it is going to reflect in your art, no matter what.
No matter what, you can't hide it unless you go and play a different type of music.
Yeah.
As long as it's not, there's a thin line here. As long as it's not a rip-off, or it's like mimicking or like copy-pasting.
Yeah.
Or suddenly, like Manowar, let's say, I want to wear also like a cow skin on. And
Manowar
and have abs, although I love Manowar, but as long as you're not copying this, they have an effect. Like bands, like for me, like Catatonia, Paradise Lost, Sentence, this whole Nordic, this whole hypocrisy, all these have had an effect. So it's only natural that the music, in a way, is influenced by them, but because you have also Slayer influence, Cannibal Corpse influence, you have all of these, so there is a mix. So you listen to Paralysis and you listen to Boat of Sharon, you will think it's not the same band.
Exactly.
Because one of his, but at the end, that's what we said, no rules. Who put the rules? Who said you can't do this? You have to sound like that on all of your songs. I don't agree.
Yep.
If at the end, it's in the same family. It's the family of metal. That's it. It's one family. The more you dissect into it, the more it starts becoming, to me, like annoying and ridiculous.
I mean,
of course, that he has a point that it should not be absolute copy paste. But then, if you're trying to be unique out there and also putting your touch through the lyrics and the way the music production is happening, and if you take a facet and you maybe bring an evolution of it, like a part of a song, or all that is fine, because dude, as I told you, there's so much music out there already. It's a saturated market. So imagine
it's more than 600,000 songs are being dropped every freaking day.
Exactly. So, like you said, that how much ever music was there to be created has already been created. Now it's the unique minds that are putting a spin on things, and
maybe the riff that I'm thinking of, maybe it came to Junior 3 years ago.
And dude, there are bands that are isolated in corners of the world, like for example Parkway Drive. I love that band from Australia. They are a metalcore band, but they make amazing music. Really good. And they are literally, that's why their their movie on Netflix is called Underdogs, because they were really a random band, and they gained fame because of the way they make music and the way they write and the way the vocalist is his style. It's really good. good. So he knows what I'm talking about. So like, dude, imagine these riffs are already existing somewhere in one of the parts of the world. Like the band is already existing. So like,
I mean,
that just blows my mind. Damn.
Yeah, Junior. Other than that, what is your guilty pleasure music that you kind of hide in the closet to listen to?
Just before, the band is mostly that black and doom metal, and like it's all within this genre. But again, for example, I have a Hatebreed tattoo, which is totally different. So again, I'm on a mart. Half of my arm is all like Nordic stuff. So again, for me there are no rules. If I like it, I like it. You know, I grew up listening to Motley Crue and Skid Row. Doesn't mean that oh no, I don't like it anymore. And I've watched them live. I watched Savatage live. They were amazing. You know, Savatage is the Lebanese way of saying it.
Sabotage.
Guilty pleasure music, I'd say it's French music.
Wow.
It's the other extreme. It's the only two styles I would listen to: metal and French. French because it is my first language, and at home, I mean, my mom, my dad used to play French the whole time, so it's very familiar. So
what type of music we're talking about here, if you don't mind me asking?
It's just French music. It's just take Sinatra. Singing in French.
Okay. I call that steak music.
Why?
You can have a good steak and have a glass of wine.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a good description.
Imagine Sinatra singing in French. So this is this type of it's the old French music, nothing new. I'd say 70s, 80s French music.
Right.
But it's when I listen to it mostly. It will come like a week during the year where I listen to French, and or when I'm with my daughter and I don't want her to listen to Amon Amarth at 8 in the morning, so I put her some French music because I will never play the radio. I don't know how to play the radio. I will never play the radio. I do have on my Anghami some songs like Dance Monkey and these. It's for my kid and her friends when they come over,
right?
Because the others would, So you need to get them involved with to my daughter to get involved with whatever the others are listening to, because she'd be like, "Oh, play me Brothers of Metal," and all the other girls would be like, "What?"
By the way, God bless this child. She's just 5. You know, like she gets to listen to metal at such a young age and has such an influential father. Like, imagine her life.
Forget about that.
She's not gonna have friends if I keep on playing Amon Amarth. So, because I knew I didn't have anyone. I used to listen to this music, but I still do. But when I started.
Oh man, but no. It's all awesome. Gonna be good, man, and hopefully, she gonna be a musician. If you want, you can work on that from now.
If she's into it, she already has the base of listening to good bands.
Yeah, so she already listens to Amon Amarth. I don't think anything else is remaining. So but that's good, man. I mean, we talked about When the World Burns and your journey and all the stuff, and the thing is, like, I wanted to point out, you already, like, we usually ask these questions from the artist that who is the artist in your mind that you want to collaborate with, but you already
are on the path of that.
You're already doing some of that, and you already did it with a couple of your idols. But When the World Burns, what is the next thing the next person that you guys want to get on board with for a track? Or, I mean, we're talking here bucket list, fantasy, but fantasy soon to be reality bucket list.
Putting out in the universe, just.
Also, I don't know if you realize, but you kind of realize that we release singles, not albums.
I know.
And so the reason behind this is also, let's give each one its time and search for the correct person. Because if you're gonna have 12 songs, and then you're gonna start searching for people, and then you're gonna have 10 songs ready, and then others that are not, it's gonna cause like delays.
Delays.
So exactly. So I do have a bucket list. There are some some guys, I'm like, I wish, I hope. One of them is the number one would be Nick Holmes from Paradise Lost.
Oh.
This one is number one by far.
Mm-hmm.
You have Ahsan from Emperor.
Oh yeah, the vocalist.
Yeah, I've got the poster behind me also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have Peter Tactron from Hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Septic Flesh, the Greek symphonic death metal band, which I'm a massive fan of. So these would be like my top.
Mm.
Now there's okay, you have obviously Tom Araya from Slayer, but this is like, this is not a bucket list. This is beyond. This is in another lifetime. This is if I could go back to the future and kick Dave Lombardo and say, hey, can I join, Slayer or something? But
I know that.
That's in another lifetime. So.
I mean that's good.
But
I mean we like, sorry to cut you off, we never had like people talking about this type of musicians to collaborate, but it's very fascinating that you're already on the path to do. I mean you're already doing it.
Yeah.
So getting these guys on board will not be that much of a hassle, but it's just it needs that grind from your side.
Exactly, and
a
I
bit
feel
of luck.
Yeah, and already
it needs a lot of luck.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a lot of luck. Listen, Fadi Shami from Aramaic got. To be honest, I give him all the credit for getting Stefano Fiori from Graveworms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the guy. I wouldn't have sent him a message. Maybe I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was saying, and I was talking to JM, and I was telling him, man, I want Graveworms guy. I want Stefano. How do I get him? He's like, Stefano, he can't. Why don't you talk to Fadi? His wife is Italian, and she knows him. I was like, you're kidding.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I asked Fadi. Like, Fadi, can you ask him? Fadi just, like, did the group me, and I'm said, hi, Stefano Meet Jr. He wants you to sing on one of his songs. I'm like, man, chill. Like, what did you just do? And the guy was really, he was so cool that he recorded, sent us the tracks, and then he sent 2 videos. We saw 2 extra files, and we opened them, and it's him singing the songs.
Wow.
From 2 different angles. So I was like, I called Jan, I'm like, man, there's 2 extra files, and it's like him singing. Scrap the part about the lyric video, we gotta shoot another video now. Because I wouldn't have dared to ask him, like, would you mind singing the song so we could, so these are things that sometimes they come like unexpected.
Yep.
But,
and it works.
But they're like,
yeah,
and believe me, there is something, you start appreciating these bands much more once you start knowing these people.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they tour, even when you meet them here. I mean, I saw Septic Flesh. I traveled into 1,000 to Greece just to see this band, and I bought one of his artwork, which is under the logo over there.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, when I met him here in Dubai, thanks to Nahla, he remembered me because I used to send him emails like, yeah, you're this guy, I remembered. So, this gives you a lot of all the effort and all this time that you've put to this band.
Yep.
And all these emotions that you've connected with this band is in its place.
It's like that boost of motivation.
That this is, it's right.
I mean, that's what it keeps you grinding and to go look forward. And plus, you have a good network that they actually help you out. And I know you don't want to give away a lot of things because your concept of writing and getting those guest appearances kind of a surprise for everyone from your fans and the people that they follow up with when the world burns. So what is the future plans that you guys have so far? Do you guys are planning to release a new single soon, or it's in the process of writing? How is it?
We have 6 singles already. There's one with Stefano Graveworms, which we are currently mixing, and we need to shoot the video. This was unexpected. Then we have one with JM, which we're waiting to see when we're all gonna be in Beirut, so we can all film it in our studio a studio rehearsal place in Beirut, because we're going to do a video all of us playing. So that would be cool. I have one more song. I'm still waiting for the not confirmation, to see if he will have the time, because he's in, but I don't know when. So I'm still waiting for this. After when these 9 songs are released, we're gonna release like an LP or CD.
Nice.
I don't know yet.
Nice.
Maybe LP, because I don't know if people still. I still buy CDs, but not a lot of people do.
Yep.
Then we've already done 7 songs for the next album, but here we're still in the process of, honestly, like talking about it now. We're honestly in the process of discussing. Should we get the same guys again? Should we, narrow it down to maybe 2 or 3 of the existing, or should we again find 7 new vocalists or 5 new vocalists, or etc.? So we still don't know. I know that I have 1 or 2 guys from Lebanon I still want to be part of this project, and they're in. But again, it depends on the songs. For the international artists, I'm still thinking, because the job that they've done on so far has been amazing, and the working process also, Ahmed, is a very important part. If they're working and giving all their best to you, you feel like, man, it's not enough. One song's not enough.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
Like Jason Netherton, Misery Index. One song is not enough. It's not. I listen to one. I'm like, I need more. And this is where you're like, shall I go and venture and look at, try others, or shall I stay with what?
I understand,
the formula that works and that I'm comfortable with and that I'm happy with. Because again, it's all if the job of it's not a job, but
I understand.
The process of making music is stressful.
Yes.
Forget about it. It's not the point. That's why no rules.
Exactly.
No rules. Do a single. Let's do singles. At the end, we do an album. Each single, we give it a cover. Why not? Nobody's done it. Why do you bother doing an artwork for each single? Because when I listen to Master of Puppets, I remember the artwork. When I listen to Hypocrisy or whatever, or Hatebreed or Amon, I remember the artwork.
Yes.
And this is
so
what
true.
I want, is each song to have a picture. So a Plague Cold Man has the guy with the gas mask. Bolt of Sharon has this. Paralysis has a faceless woman with like hands, like just attaching her. I don't know if the word is correct. So we're still thinking, but these are the ideas behind what we want for the future. And live, we'll deal with it when it comes. That's
gonna be a bitch, man.
Yeah, because all this creative process gives you ideas, but then when it comes crunch time on a live gig, it's a whole other ball game then. Yeah.
But I mean, if there is a way around it, it can happen, But it needs a lot of dedication and a lot of work.
Yes, I need to completely go over the song again and again and get it right,
But Junior, thank you very much for joining us for this session, and to wrap up the session, tell the viewers where they can find the music When the World Burns, and where they can stay up to date with the news of the band.
All right. So we have our official website, whentheworldburns.com.
Nice.
So there I post all the news, whatever is happening, like info about the band, who's joining, the guest vocalists, where do we record, the studio, etc., and all the artwork. And now the music can be found on all streaming platforms, so Spotify, Anghami, all these. You also have on playlists on Anghami. We're featured on those. YouTube for the videos, because with each song we have video. So that's so there's no songs without videos. It's each song you have video, you have an artwork.
That's awesome.
and we still haven't released physical copies, but I would say Instagram and our official website would be the places to look for.
I mean, already I put the handle of When the World Burns under your video frame. So guys, give them a follow so you can stay up to date with their news about their new singles being dropped out, or the music video, or all the news regarding When the World Burns project. So again, Junior, thank you very much for joining us for tonight's session, man. It means the world to us that you actually dedicated,
this much time
much. You took off some of your time to dedicated to this session and join us for this ride.
No, on the contrary, thank you guys so much. It's been awesome talk, and thank you for your time. At the end of the day, it's we're just newcomers. It's like a 2-year-old band. So
I mean, hopefully it's not one of these projects that I see most of the time happens, breaks up.
No, I hope not. I hope not.
I hope please, not, man. Please, touch wood. It will stay, and you guys.
It's me and my brother, so.
I think you guys are behind that whole ego thing. So you guys don't have that problem.
We're in our 40s, man. So there's no time.
They can talk it over a beer,
Exactly.
The beard is gray, the hair is gone. So
Hey, you're not alone, man.
Oh.
Yeah, but I know.
But again, man, it's our pleasure. I mean, stick around with us, and
I'm just looking forward to the new music, because like I said, that these guys, like, they really sound different.
Yep.
Different.
Thanks to you, I get the chance to interview.
I'm so happy,
people such as Junior,
exactly.
because they're like new people.
Yeah.
Getting to know
different
new musicians, different minds. Yeah.
Like, the questions that we've asked other artists, and compared to what he has answered today, it's completely different. So that it's a unique mind.
And I mean, we didn't even we didn't even have to go to those questions, because he already answered it with the band procedure that they do. It's just completely different, which is amazing. It's very good.
I know.
But man, thank you very much again, and thank you very much for the viewers that they stuck around with us.
Thank you guys.
That you guys been here since day one. Thank you very much. And you guys can follow us at Convos and Chill on IG and Facebook, or go to our linktree.com/Convos and Chill. You guys can get all the links to our YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, because this session will be on YouTube in a couple of days. And you guys follow She's a Phoenix at She's a Phoenix on IG if you guys want any tattoo designs, tribal, Maori, and all the black ink, all the cool stuff.
Did you say black kicks?
I don't know. Hey, I'm trying to do my job.
No, usually fumbling is my job. That's why I was wondering, why are you fumbling today?
So give us a follow. Let's so you guys can stay up to date to the with the news and everything. And we have a bunch of more artists coming in this October.
Oh yeah, for Tuesday's one, I am really waiting.
Yep, Tuesday one is a new dude, which is again one of my childhood. There was one of these things, I want to just talk to the, I just want to shove you aside and just be with be on the session with the guy and just talk.
I'm going to be jealous the whole stream.
No. But again, thank you very much, Junior, for joining us.
I know.
And our schedules are Sundays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m.
Yep.
Dubai time, 5 p.m. GMT and 10 a.m. PST. Yep. And again, thank you very much, Adel, DJ, and Cool Gamer. Thank you very much for meeting you. Rami from Leb Metal, thank you very much for the follow. And DJ, thank you very much for the resubscribing.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And Junior, we'll see you soon, and hopefully this is not the last time we're going to see you on the show.
For sure. And I would love to see these guys live, by the way.
Exactly.
Watching them live is going to be a treat.
Yep,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
So
I can't
Junior,
wait for that day.
Yep, for sure. We're going to see you soon, but stick around with us after the stream. I got to be talking to you. And
take care,
see you guys.
everyone.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks Ahmed. Thanks.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.